All right, y'all. Y'all see what's going on here today? It's time to face the truth about NBA 2K. Now, I've been ready to face the truth, you know. That depends what the truth is, because I don't know. I want to see what Agent got to say, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on in the 2K community. Because I haven't played 2K in a few days, so I just want to know. You know, I've been on my team. But let's see what's really going on.
I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what it's like to be a sports gaming fan. People that aren't in the space just don't even know the space exists. And those in the space usually don't really try much of anything else. Does that make sense? But man,
Nah, I used to be like that. I used to just play sports game, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all who's listening out there. It's other games out there, bro. I am not gonna lie, there's other games that you can have fun with. I just completely shedded that phase of my life where I just don't I just play one game, bro. I used to only play 2K, and I let go of my childhood side where I would play all types of games. I would just play 2K, thinking, okay, that's the only game I gotta play. I gotta get nice at it so I can start uploading clips. Like, it would just take any enjoyment out of it. I was not happy, so I was like, okay, I want to play more games. I used to play a lot of games, y'all. I used to play like Naruto. I used to play Zelda, all these other games that I used to play and enjoy. I'm finally starting to get back to that. I even played Mario or whatever, PS5 games, whatever you want to call them. I'm playing Final Fantasy right now. All these other games I'm enjoying. Just know that there's other games. You don't have to be playing 2K. Just play it once in a while, and it's not going to get as annoying.
is it tough to be an NBA 2K fan? There's been the years like 2K16, 2K19 where while I was in it, I knew like, bro, this game was incredible. And then they follow it up with like just a straight up turd. One of the most frustrating parts about playing the game of NBA 2K is that even when changes are made, few and far between, we don't know what those changes ever are.
That's why I tell you, whenever a patch come out, I say in the videos, if you watching the videos, I say, yo, you know, 2K be doing them ghost patches. We gotta go and find out what they did with every shooting badge, every jump shot, everything. Go test out your jump shot base. I say all this, bro. I know I'm the first one to say it, man. Like Soldier Boy, I'm the first guy to ever say this right now. I'm not the first guy, but y'all know what I mean. I said, remember they passed that. I knew they touched that Paul George base. I'm not bugging. They touched the Paul George base, and they touched a lot of jump shots. You know, a lot of stuff that's been fixed. It's not in the patch notes, guys. Stay woke.
She started back in NBA 2K17. So if y'all are back in the community, early NBA 2K17, y'all remember, they introduced a lot of new gameplay related features. There was a grand badge in the game. The gameplay felt entirely different than NBA 2K16.
Is that not what he meant by that? I don't know. Who cares? But I told y'all it's still facts anyway.
Spent the first couple weeks of the game just learning what was. And as people learned the game, just like I did, we found things that were very overpowered. For example, if you use the right...
Bro, Agent, fix your hoodie, bro. That's bothering me. I ain't gonna lie. That's just making my skin crawl, bro. Like I'm itching. Like, fix your hoodie, bro. Look at the drawstrings. Fix that shit.
Stick to shoot. The boost they gave you for shooting correctly with the right stick was insane. So what I do, man, I made a video teaching people how to break down the economics of shooting NBA 2K17. A lot of that stuff got patched. But what began then and what I'm realizing now is a common theme is 2K just stopped communicating. So what would happen was they would make some changes to the gameplay. They would take some animations out or nerf something specifically, but they wouldn't ever reference it in the patch notes. There was a period in NBA 2K history, I believe it was like in 2K18, where they just didn't even bother dropping patch notes. They gave you an update that was 20 gigabytes on your PlayStation, but they didn't tell you what was in it. And even once they started telling you what was in it, it was all generic things like gameplay improvements or performance updates, and it'd be like generics.
It'll be super vague. Whatever they put in the patch notes would be super vague. They would say is gameplay improvements, lag, stutter issues resolved, some stupid stuff like that. But you know, if you go in the park, still lagging.
Stuff they would never specify. I remember a few years ago, there was one moment where there was a patch made, and then usually there's like different sections to the patches and updates in NBA 2K, right? There's the gameplay section, then there's the park section, and there's the My GM My League section. In the overall section one time, they left in the patch note saying that they patched Michael Jordan's tongue to make
Just curious on user saying because some creatures appear differently in game. On the Chrome. Oh, yeah, this is all like my career stuff. Michael Jordan's tongue should now look a little more Mike-like. I'm dead. What is that? What? So 2K seen all their problems. They was like, I know the community wants us to fix, you know what I'm saying, the lack issues. They want us to fix the dribbling. But you know what? Have you seen MJ's tongue lately? It's looking a little crippled, bro. It's looking a little white. You know, we need MJ's tongue to be fresh, fluorescent pink, sticking out, just looking mad, juicy, and wet. No homo. Man, come on, man.
Make it more lifelike. And after that moment, the community lit them up. Like, why are we focusing on Michael Jordan's tongue?
I have never seen Michael Jordan's tongue in game. Why are they focused on that? Like, what person seen the tongue nose and hit up 2K is like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo, that's not MJ's tongue, bro. That's anybody's tongue, but that's not MJ's tongue. MJ got a different tongue. Like, who's that focused on MJ's tongue to know what it looks like in real life to compare it to the game? Why was that a thing?
I swear, bro, ever since that day, 2K has stopped being specific in the patch notes. It's like they gave up. In their mind, it was like it wasn't worth just communicating because even when we did, people just trolled about it. So then 2K just stopped. They gave up trying to communicate, but in 2K19, things changed again. If y'all remember, 2K19 was a very interesting year in the whole life cycle of NBA 2K. I don't know what happened between like late 2K18 and throughout 2K19, update after update after sliders. They were playing discotheque with the sliders left and right. Some changes were being made, and every time Mike Wang was on Twitter letting you know, like, we just tuned back contested shots for players over 7 foot. Like, sliders are being changed basically every third day. It was a miserable disaster trying to get balance in NBA 2K19, and they never actually ever figured it out. As great as NBA 2K19 was, and as fun as the gameplay was, man, was it good. They never figured out how to balance shot contests. I sat there, if y'all remember, in 2K19, I literally dropped my first documentary.
Oh my god. 2K18, starting 2K18. The stretch big era. The stretch big era was when the shot contest system went crazy. You could be, I was literally, if you was under 6'6", there was no point in trying to guard a stretch big. They would just shoot over you. You know, that's how Duke Dennis came up with shoot over those. Like, he would literally shoot over you. It would not matter. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't drop my pride and make a stretch big, but I wish I would have. I want to feel that power in my hand. I want to know how it feels to have all that power to just shoot over somebody. You do not have to be good. In 2K18 or like, was it 19 too? I don't think it was 19 with the stretch bigs. I think it was at first, but they patched it. Yeah, I think it was at first, but they patched it. But 2K18 was the worst. It was the worst.
Walking through a blizzard in Toronto, just explaining some of the flaws in the game and how if just a few minuscule changes were made, it could be one of the greatest, if not the greatest 2K of all time. I was correct. But what Mike Wang and the developers realized in the NBA 2K19 year was they didn't want to make too many changes to the game. Like, they wanted the game to drop correct, and so that the few tweaks they did have to be made, those were 100% to be necessary. They didn't want to just do discotheque for the sake of making changes, for the sake of changing the sliders. They wanted each change to be intentional. And as that happened, like, there were like 6 months at a time where we just wouldn't hear anything from developers because there weren't that many changes being made to the game. If there was a patch to be made, it likely happened within the first 2 to 3 months of the game's launch. But aside from that, it was just aesthetic updates and roster updates. That was it. And I get it. Like, a majority of the community was pretty frustrated that, like, every time they booted up the game, it played differently. Like, your player was hitting every shot one day, they were hitting whites the next day, missing everything the next day, and it was just a disaster to get used to. It was difficult to develop any kind of real consistency, and everyone was telling 2K, damn, just get it right. But the reality is the community is split. Like, one side of the community community was telling them to buff this dribble move and the other one was telling them to take it out the game, it was impossible to listen to everybody without frustrating somebody. I kind of understand it to a certain extent, even with like the videos we drop on AMP. Like after missing enough Mondays, it's like, do we even have to update y'all? We missed another Monday. Y'all just can get frustrated. Another Monday was missed. And it's like, I get it. Developing is complicated. There's probably plenty of good reasons for why there are errors in the game. They're just never ever communicated to us. And I want to show you guys something very, very interesting. I play plenty of other different games
tomorrow,
between
right?
Rainbow Six and Valorant and Apex Legends and Warzone. Like I have a pretty diverse amount of games that I like to play. I notice as I say that I just named a whole bunch of shooters. Trust me guys, real diverse guy over here. I want y'all to take a look at the patch notes Ubisoft dropped last month for an update they made to their game. The update lets you know all the different sizes for all the different platforms that the game is available on. It lets you know specific changes made to specific operators within the game. Reduce the 416 magazine capacity to 25+1 from 30+1. They get really specific and they don't leave any details out. Every operator from Tachanka to Jaeger to Jackal to Thermite is mentioned. Once they're done mentioning the specific operator type updates, they talk about tweaks and improvements between the game balancing, player comfort, game health, bug fixes, level design, operators, user experience. I want to give you guys—
Ain't nobody doing that on 2K. That's way too much work. Like, you're gonna have to pay somebody, and 2K does not like paying anybody to write all that. So you're not getting that. You're gonna have to live with the gameplay improvements. You know what I'm saying? All of that what Aiden just read off right there can be summarized into 2 words: gameplay improvements. Publish.
Guys, another example. This is the game I've been playing the most in the last year. I am in love with it. Shout out to Riot Games. You have made a true masterpiece of a video game. Valorant patch notes for 2.09. Just take a look real quick between the agent updates. They give you map updates. They drop the new map, competitive updates, game system updates, social updates, updates to bugs, game system updates, weapon updates. It keeps going. There is no detail left out because they realize you're spending your time downloading something, and you should know everything that is in the download that you're about to download. That seems like a simple concept in and of itself. And then compare that to the patch notes we've been recently getting from NBA 2K21. There's the general updates where they say new seasonal decorations in the 2K beach. They don't tell you what kind, where, what you could expect. Is there optimization issues you might need to look out for? Another set of player likeness improvements for current NBA players. Don't bother specifying which players saw those improvements. Keep an eye out for new events coming to the 2K beach. Can you be any more vague? So to be fair, like they do make some effort here. It's not like they're as vague as possible, but it's like, Jesus, do you see the difference? And the sad reality is Valorant is a free game, guys. A free game is seeing this level of detail and commitment from developers. So when a game like 2K drops for full price, you think to yourself, why aren't we seeing that same level of commitment from 2K? It's as if they've pulled back and they feel like there's no value in just properly communicating what's going on with the game. 1 month into the launch of NBA 2K21 Next Gen, everyone went ghost. We didn't hear a tweet from a developer. There was no updates letting us know what was going on. All we knew was the game was in a horrible state. It was barely playable. I would argue it was completely unplayable, especially on the neighborhood. The least you could do is let us know what's going on, but this is the kicker, the whole point of the video, is a lot of the time when you're being incompetent, it makes it impossible for you to communicate. The reality is the previous patch notes I was showing you from those other games, those developers actually care. They put in some serious effort into the video games and it shows when you actually play. NBA 2K21 felt like a throwaway. So if 2K's not trying with the product, or it's clear that their priorities are just—
No, 2K21 current gen felt like a throwaway. Next gen, I feel like they actually tried, you know, but when 2K tries, it doesn't always go what you expect it to go. So they failed. And you can say what you want, they did fail, because at the end of the day, your one objective is to please your consumers, and they didn't do that. So whether you like the game or don't like the game, the majority of people don't like the game, apparently so. And they think it has a lot of bugs, so they just failed. They got to do better.
to make money, it's difficult to just be specific with it because most of the updates they're making have nothing to do with actually improving the game. It only has to do with making more money. And I know what some people are gonna think. Like, the reality is, if you look back at the original tweets when Fortnite launched and gained all its popularity, it was receiving nothing but love from the people that played the game, all the people just flooding over, enjoying themselves playing this brand new battle royale that blew up this already massive genre. But if you look at the Fortnite replies on Twitter now, it's a lot of people criticizing the game for changes that they've made. The reality is when something is new, people kind of overlook it. It's almost as if the gamers have a honeymoon phase where even if there's something wrong with the game, you don't mind not seeing it for what it is because you're having fun with this brand new toy of yours on this new video game. 2K is seasoned, man. Most of us, like, we've been here for a minute now. I don't know how long you've been here, but it's been a minute for me. So any honeymoon phase you had, you probably passed by now. And when the game is being treated as poorly as NBA 2K21 Next Gen has, it's difficult to not be frustrated with the result. And when 2K is combining your frustration with their not willing to even try is what it feels like. If you play the city, you're looking at NBA 2K21 Next Gen like they barely made an attempt. And you could see why they don't ever bother communicating because there's nothing to communicate. Patch note here, there is nothing aside from seasonal decorations to the 2K beach. And this is current gen. Like, let me pull up the next gen ones actually. This is the most recent update patch notes for NBA 2K21 Next Gen. And although I'll give them credit for specifying—
Oh yeah, we did have a patch, right? We did have a patch, a recent patch. Who is on patch 8? Isn't this patch 9
which
then?
players receive likeness updates on these patch notes. There is just general patch notes. And then that's it, guys. After you scroll through the names, address some issues with downloading custom team designs and resolve the rare hang in my WNBA. That is it. They have given up on the city. And how could you not be frustrated if you fought to get this new console because they weren't easy to get and then you spent more money on the video game and this is the result?
You know, I can admit that I overpaid for the PS5. Like, I overpaid, but just try to get some content off of y'all. I just took it serious. I really thought the city was going to be some magical shit to, like, honestly, if I got it earlier, I could have really got more views because, but, you know what I'm saying? I had to get like a week or two after. You know, everybody got comfortable with the game. I ain't get a lot of views that was supposed to. You know, I just wanted to get content off of you. I took an L on that. I took an L. But hey, it is what it is at this point. Overpaid like shit. And now they're probably going to have a PS5 Pro coming out pretty soon for like $100 more.
The reality is when 2K's vague or they just don't bother to communicate, people won't really notice. Like, if 2K says something on these patch notes, they're bringing things to people's attention. A lot of the times, they don't even want to bother bringing up an error to your attention, especially if you didn't know it existed. And unlike these previous patch notes from these games I've showed, which are perfectly comfortable sitting in their own reality, comfortable knowing that they're actually making attempts at improving their game so they can get specific. 2K is not doing that. Isn't that kind of frustrating to y'all? Man, I want to play next gen so bad, but it's difficult because obviously the lion's share of people are playing this game on current gen for plenty of different reasons I discussed in a previous video. So even though next gen is the future, it don't feel like—
And I don't even think current gen is that good. Like, current gen is not good at all. But people think it's better than next gen, so hey.
The future to me, it don't feel like a game worth playing. I could get on and from time to time I'll have fun playing on the city. Are the perk events cool? Yeah, they got some perk events in there. But man, it's just the overall dry experience. All I can do is sit back and think, man, I hope they're spending this exact time they're not working on 2K21 Next Gen to make 2K22 Next Gen an actually good, fun product. And I kind of strayed away from like making this video.
We learned that they're not just working. How do I explain it? When 2K just gives up on this current 2K and focuses on the next 2K, it's not to really go all in on the next 2K. They're just done with that 2K. You know what I'm saying? When they stopped updating 2K20, we was like, oh yeah, they focusing on 2K21, baby. When 2K21 dropped, it had so much bugs, I can't even count on my fingers. So we already know that's not the issue. They're just done with the game.
videos criticizing 2K for a while because it almost feels like they're pointless at this point. Like nothing I say is gonna be taken seriously anyway, so what's the point of even making an attempt? But I genuinely believe you're not dumb. Yo, it's a video game. There's gonna be issues. I don't know if you've ever played a perfect video game. I've been playing my whole life. I haven't figured one out. We get there's gonna be some bugs in the video game, 2K. We understand. We're just asking the game is playable, which is a very low standard, by the way, and fun. It's playable and fun. The reality is I've seen good games get made even when the priority was making money. Like, I think GTA 5 is a good example. I know Rockstar's like spending their time trying to make sure they get GTA 6 right. I know they did the same thing with GTA 5. I mean, Rockstar is under the same umbrella as 2K. They're owned by the same parent company. But when GTA 4 and GTA 5 dropped, they were phenomenal products that were a lot of fun to play. And even though it was clear that they spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to monetize the game and make money, that's business. We get it. You got to make money from your game somehow. Do you have to gouge us at every given moment? I personally don't think so. I think you need to lay back some. But it's like, we understand you're running a business and your business has to make money. But man, I'm telling you, bro, when I play a video game where it's clear that they're making attempts at improving the game, it's fun. And some of these games is free to play, but I feel like I'm stealing when I'm not actually spending money on the game. I'm having so much fun playing this game for free. I feel like this is grand theft right now. So I did buy some skins or some random perks just so I can say that I supported the game that I'm spending so much time playing and I'm having fun on. All of that to say this, 2K, I feel like I'm not asking for a lot when I'm saying, can we just get specific with what's going on? Can we let us know what's going on? But I feel like going ghost is a horrible answer. It almost is like taking the whole community for granted. And it's a community that's stuck with the series through thick and thin, by the way. Because there was the 2K18s and the 2K21 next gens and people are still here. Can you fucking believe that? After the year that y'all muffled, that people are still interested in even playing this game to the point where they went back to old titles. Let's not take that for granted, man. At the end of the day, it's not really the developer's job to communicate. There's community managers whose job it is to communicate with us about things that are going on. Is it nice when we hear from the actual developers because they know in depth with the changes that were made and what's going on with this, and this? Yeah, it's pleasant. I mean, I got most of the developers on notifications on Twitter. Every time there's a tweet, I know what's going on. But I'm telling you, my phone doesn't ring with those notifications too often. And they don't really gotta blow up my phone, letting me know every small thing they're thinking about. But from time to time, getting feedback from the community about changes that you wanna make, or just letting us know about a change that was already made, how could they, what world are we living in where that's not worth doing? Hey, that's what I was angry about today, man.
Don't understand.
Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like.
2K,
I made a video, a documentary actually,
yeah,
kind of discussed which 2K was the greatest of all time. If you guys didn't watch it, go ahead, catch that. Otherwise, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.
That's tough. That's tough. I can't lie. But hey, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. It's the truth about 2K, man. 2K don't mess with us. I mean, 2K mess with us or not, I don't know. But it's whatever at this point.